How's everyone doing? We are going over. Actually, no, let me switch over here. This is not an Angel City specific video. This is the recap of the week. So I can go back into the regular clothes here. All right. So what we are doing today is we are looking at the entire week of NWSL football. So before we do any of that, let me shrink the screen down, go over what we're going to go over. Whoop. There we go. Move that up a bit. Cool. All right. So we'll start with the Friday match, Kansas City Current San Diego Wave. What we saw here was a pretty balanced matchup between two teams of similar caliber. Gia Corley set up Trinity Byers to score very early on in that match, and they were in control for that entire first half. A very rare performance where San Diego actually looked better in the first half than the second. Unfortunately, they're still tied to one half because the second did not go great. Within a span of about 10 minutes, Croy Bethune and Temwa Chawinga had racked up 2 goals and put Kansas City ahead. So suddenly, San Diego finds themselves on the back heel, and they have to try to build back up near the end of the match. It did work out. What we end up seeing is Kenza Dolly getting a yellow card, trying to make a play happen. But then finally, right before injury time started, Byers drills a second goal. And at that point, we had an even match. Injury time didn't really do much beyond a yellow card, but this was big for each team to get a point. However, dropping points again did cost San Diego the top of the table. They are now sitting in the third position. And Kansas City dropping points has put them not in direct control of their current position. They currently sit sixth in the standings. However, the team in seventh has a match in hand and is only behind by 3 points, with a vastly superior goal differential. So, both teams are in kind of a tough spot in that respect. Now, the good thing for both teams is they're going to have some opportunities to play squads where they can kind of continue to build back up. So, they've got big stuff this week. They have some showdowns in the coming weeks with other big teams. So, yeah, the end of July, start of August should be a very interesting time for both of them. Moving forward here, we've got Gotham getting a victory on Seattle in what can only be described as a histrionic collapse. I'm going to cover the FC because there was no football happening at the end of that match with Seattle. Seattle had looked really great in the first half. Mia Fischel getting PK off of the Maddie Freeman foul. And then less than 10 minutes later, Maddie Mercado picking up a goal. And so 2-0 Seattle. Everything's looking great. Other than Sam Mesa getting a yellow card in the 45th minute, things are going fine. Maddie Dalian gets assigned a PK to score one in the 57th minute, and it doesn't succeed, and the worm turns on this match almost immediately. This was a sight to behold. Seattle just could not maintain their momentum any further, and it was astounding to me to see Gotham basically just they proceeded to do like the utter collapse that happened when Egypt was up 2-0 on Argentina in the round of 16, but this one I don't feel like was anywhere near as like blatantly favoritist. This one actually was just Gotham taking advantage late, being a gamer late, pulling that Knicks life a little bit, and Seattle doing Seattle things. Esther Gonzalez, 2 goals, with Jaden Shaw getting both the assists and a goal in the 81st minute. So again, first 80 minutes, free and clear. I don't know why I'm moving my arm. You can't see it. I don't have full motion tracking active right now. But yeah, she gets the first goal. Pressure's on. 4 minutes in injury time. They rack up another one, so now the match is tied. You assume it's going to be a 1 point each draw at this point. But somehow the opportunity opened itself again. Sam Kerr sets up Rose Lavelle very late in injury time, 8 minutes in, and gives Gotham the third goal. It was it was a bizarre second half. I could not believe what I was seeing. Uh, Seattle has definitely some structural stuff where that's preventing them from being very consistent. I thought this was going to be more of a Portland problem than it was Seattle. I thought Seattle was just going to be consistently middling. Uh, Seeing the just wild shifts in quality though is really just incredible to me. I don't know. It is something, and Gotham, it worked out for them. That puts them in second in the standings right now by virtue of goal differential. They are 3 goals, so they're at +9 compared to the +12 of Washington, but it makes for an interesting challenge there at the top. Those two now duking it out. Still plenty of teams behind them should either of them drop points. So, yeah, lots of fun to be had here. Next up, Denver pulling out a victory on Portland. So I will say, while Portland has been a little more consistent, I feel they are one of the teams that's a little bit more straightforward to exploit in terms of style. They did manage to get a goal on a penalty kick 25 minutes in. Sophia Wilson drills one. But Denver really is coming into their own as a team. I have been pleasantly enjoying what they've been doing. Very late into injury time in the first half, Janine Sonis equalizes the match. And then after a very competitive second half, a couple yellow cards, one on each. Finally, Natalie Means hits one in the 86th minute, takes control from there, and Portland just really not able to do much on that front. So Portland's style, I've long been saying, is one that can be taken advantage of if the team is really paying attention to the style they like to do. They are very much a counterattack. They take a lot of attacks going in and then use that to counter. It is very rare they overwhelm the opponent. And so while it does make for an interesting stylistic battle, ultimately Denver is a unique one on this front. I thought what they did with Portland was very textbook. They looked really good pretty much the whole time. I wasn't too. Once they had the match equalized, I was really no longer concerned that Portland was going to overwhelm them because it looked like the style of the game was very much fitting Denver. And they finally managed to get a goal to actually show that advantage. Moving on to the third one here. There's not much I want to say on this one. This was nightmarish. Caroline Lemma bashes through 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes. With Rachel Kunanji getting the first assist, Alex Pfeiffer getting the second. And that put it at 2-0. That pretty much ended the game. Kunanji got a goal of her own early in the second half, and then North Carolina, in an attempt to very late in the match get something going, their goal is disallowed. I don't really want to spend too much time on this. It was more just North Carolina regressing back to early season form. And that needs to be looked at very quickly because they are going to find themselves falling out of the playoff picture if they allow that to continue for much longer. the match we lived. Very fun match for Angel City. The first half didn't really lead to much scoring, though a goal had to be disallowed late in the first half as Chicago went offside. Second half, Mayara gets a penalty kick put through, so that gives Angel City their lead. And then after a whole half of back and forth between the two, Svindis Jansdottir gets a goal very late in injury time to make it 2-0. Puts Angel City to goal differential +8, third best in the league. Puts them up into 7th place within striking distance of the teams in definitely within one game, getting within 6th. And then 5th and 4th also very much on notice there too if Angel City can stay hot. Chicago, I think they'll avoid the wooden spoon, but it does seem like 15th and maybe a slight aspiration of 14th is about as all they can hope for this year. But yeah, I talked a lot more at length about this one in the Angel City specific recap, so go and look at that if you want to see anything further on that. Next, we got Utah Royals picking up a 1-0 victory on Orlando Pride. Admittedly, this one should have gone after the Louisville one, but I got this one set up first. So either way, Anna Tejada gets a yellow card 32 minutes in. But a few minutes later, she redeems herself, setting up Narumi, and she picks up the goal in the 36th. That was the only goal in the entire match, and possession just ended up being pretty firmly under Utah's dominion. And yeah, Orlando struggling to generate offense right now. It is their lack of depth in terms of the front line has absolutely been proven. And I think at this point, if you're Orlando, panic button's got to be shifting in, because it looks like the manpower is not there to make a serious run. It'll just be a matter of, can they generate enough lucky victories to maybe slip into the 8th position. It's still close enough right now that it is a prospect you could hope for. But yeah, it is rough in Orlando right now. While for Utah, things are going pretty swimmingly. Currently sitting in 5th, by the way. Racing Louisville and Houston Dash. This was an ugly game. Yellow cards all over the place. But Louisville actually was on track for a home victory for a while. Kayla Fisher scored in the first 20 minutes. And despite all of the ugliness of this match, it ended up panning out for a while like it was going to work out. But Kat Rader, 5 minutes in injury time, gets a goal, levels it. So Louisville has to settle for only 1 point in the table. And Houston Dash, not able to really take full advantage, or kind of still pinned in that back level, rapidly losing relevance to the playoff picture, but still some space to turn it around. We'll see if they can do it, but it seems like both squads very limited, and this was about what you'd expect. Sunday's match was pretty much locked in within the first few minutes. Within the first half hour, Tara Rudd scores off of a Lacey Santos pass. And then right at the very start of the next half hour, 31st minute, Gift Monday sets up Trinity Rodman. 2-0 at this point. Game feels pretty much set. Boston did try to get back into it with a goal from Sammy Smith very late in the match, 88th minute. But it was a little bit too late in the game to really have a serious shot. But yeah, Boston looking a lot better than they were, but they are still limited. They are probably at best a 12th place team. Realistically, they'll probably be in the bottom 4. Washington, this victory does move them into the top of the table, at least for the time being. They do have a very serious challenger in Gotham right underneath them, even on points, but behind on goal difference. So we'll see how these matchups shift. I'll be going over the preview of the week in the coming days. That'll show up on Friday. And yeah, we'll see what everyone's thinking. For the time being, congrats to the winners. Um, Better luck next time for the teams who lost. For those who drew, I don't know what to tell you, man. But enjoy your football, enjoy who you're rooting for, and go Angels.